Imagine a silence so profound, physically hurts. This is not the silence of an empty room, but the violent, sudden subtraction of life on the world of Nathema. In a single instant, every plant, every animal, and every sentient being did not just die. They were erased from the metaphysical fabric of the universe. The air grew still. The midichlorians themselves were ripped away, leaving behind a wound in the Force. This was not a natural disaster, it was a meal. We are taught that the history of the galaxy is a political struggle. The Republic against the Empire, the Separatist against the Loyalist, the Jedi against the Sith. But this is a sanitized lie, a comfort. The true history of the galaxy, the shadow history, is not a war story. It is a survival horror narrative. It is a chronicle of a reality besieged by eldritch entities, biological nightmares, and architectural atrocities that view sentient life as fuel, or worse, as clay to be twisted. Today, we open the files that the Jedi archives tried to burn. We are looking into the dark. To understand the scale of the threat, we must look before the Republic, before the hyperdrive, to the era of the architects. We look at the stars and see constellations. The historians of the shadows see the bars of a cage. The Corellian system, for instance, is an artificial construct, its planets dragged in position by gravity tractors of impossible scale. But why? The evidence suggests the galaxy was designed as a fortress. The hyperspace barrier and the turbulence of the unknown regions were not natural formations, they were quarantines. Consider the Maul cluster near Kessel. To a navigator, it is a hazard. To an archivist, it is a prison cell made of singularities. The architects dragged nearly 20 black holes into a precise lattice to hold a single prisoner. Inside this gravity well waited Abeloth, the mother of chaos. Once a mortal woman, she drank from the font of power and bathed in a pool of knowledge, twisting into an entity of pure dark side energy. Abeloth does not just kill, she consumes reality, stirring every time the balance of the Force is disrupted, seeking to mother the galaxy into extinction. The galaxy is not a cradle for life, it is a containment facility for gods that went mad. But not all threats were successfully jailed. In the unknown regions on the planet Mnggal-Mnggal lies the entity known as Mnggal-Mnggal. This is not a species, it is a sentient liquid consciousness, a gray ooze that covers the entire world. The horror of Mnggal-Mnggal is intimacy. A single drop touching your skin initiates a process of digestion and replacement. It burrows in, consuming your organs, replacing your biomass with its own, all while leaving your skin intact. The victim dies in agony, but the body remains, a meat puppet for the hive mind. And Mnggal-Mnggal is sadistic. It uses the voices of the dead, projected through the sludge-filled throats of its zombies, to lure the victim's loved ones into the trap. This is the rot god the Celestials built the hyperspace barrier to keep out. A biological inevitable that eats you from the inside and wears your face. As the Celestials faded, the infinite empire of the Rakata rose, and with them came the industrialization of the Force. The Rakata were metaphysically parasitic. Their technology required the dark side to function. The crown jewel was the Star Forge, a semi-sentient orbital shipyard that fed on the Force to vomit forth endless fleets of war. But a machine requires fuel. The Rakata harvested Force-sensitive slaves, draining their life essence until they were empty husks. However, the Rakata offer a grim lesson in dependency. A plague swept through them, severing their connection to the Force. In an instant, their ships stopped flying, their weapons stopped firing. The gods of the galaxy were reduced to primitive savages, trapped on their homeworld, eating each other amidst the silent machinery of their empire. The fall of the Rakata paved the way for the Sith, who refined these atrocities into an art form. We speak of the wound in the Force. At the Battle of Malachor V, the mass shadow generator crushed fleets into the planet's surface, and the echo of thousands of dying screams tore a hole in the energy field of the universe. From this vacuum rose Darth Nihilus. He was not a man, he was a hunger that walked. Nihilus did not conquer worlds, he ate them. On the Miraluka colony of Qatar, he simply spoke. His voice, amplified by his void, severed the connection between the life on the planet and the Force. Every living thing died instantly, their essence sucked into the void to feed his hunger. This is the ultimate trajectory of the dark side. Not rule, but negation. A single being, acting as a metaphysical straw, drinking the life of a planet. The Sith did not just destroy the soul, they engineered it. The Sith Lord Beli-Darz developed the science of Mecha-Deru, creating a techno-organic virus. Victims infected with this nanogene spore underwent a horrific transformation as metallic tumors and circuitry erupted from their flesh. They were lobotomized, turned into Technobeasts, mindless cyborg slaves trapped in their own weaponized bodies. Even death was no escape. The Brotherhood of Darkness detonated the thought bomb. This ritual did not merely kill the Jedi and Sith within its blast radius, it vacuumed their spirits into a sphere of eternal torment. For 1,000 years, these souls were trapped in frozen agony, denied unity with the Force. This was metaphysical cruelty on an industrial scale. As we move into the Imperial era, the horror becomes bureaucratic. The Empire institutionalized the arcane. Consider Project Blackwing. Imperial scientists seeking immortality through Sith alchemy created a virus that revived necrotic tissue. But these were not mindless zombies. The infected shared a hive mind. They could learn. They could operate ships. They used the voices of crewmates to taunt the survivors from the shadows. Or look to the Decraniated. Dr. Cornelius Evaza developed a procedure to remove the upper skull and brain of the victim, replacing them with cybernetic distinctors. The victim remains alive. Their motor functions are intact, but their self is exorcised, leaving behind a flesh droid to serve as a waiter or laborer. It is a fate arguably worse than death, to be a passenger in your own lobotomized body. But perhaps the most chilling intersection of technology and the metaphysical comes from the Ssi-ruuk, their practice of Entechment. They discovered how to extract the life energy, the soul of a sentient being, and use it as a battery to power their ships. The victim does not pass into the Force. They remain conscious inside the machine, trapped in a state of perpetual electrical agony. Luke Skywalker, upon sensing these ships, described hearing the screaming of souls trapped within the circuitry. We descend now to the bottom of the iceberg, to the threat that implies reality itself is a fragile joke. Before the physical laws of the galaxy were calcified, there were the Bedlam spirits. Residing in the Bedlam pulsar, these non-corporeal beings, Telatni, Horlus, and others, possess omnipotence relative to biological life. The Sith use the dark side for power. The Bedlam spirits operate with a chaotic neutrality that borders on insanity. Telatni is capable of manipulating time and mass with a thought, resurrection, and shape-shifting, viewing the galaxy's inhabitants as mere toys to be discarded. The terror here is not malice, it is detachment. Telatni does not understand consequences. Her ability to resurrect the dead or alter timelines at a whim suggests that the entire history of the Star Wars galaxy, every war, every tragedy, is subject to the capricious moods of entities that do not even understand what death is. We are merely dust in the playpen of mad gods. The Shadow history reveals a chilling truth. The conflict between Jedi and Sith is merely a squabble over who gets to hold the keys to the gate. The Force is not just an energy field, it is a barrier, a dam holding back a tide of chaos. Whether it is the shapeless hunger of Abeloth, the biological consumption of the Mnggal-Mnggal, or the timeline-shattering whims of the Bedlam spirits, the galaxy is constantly besieged. Civilization is not the norm, it is a temporary anomaly in a universe designed for horror. This is the Archivist, and in the galaxy, the dead do not always sleep, and the silence is never truly empty.